How's it going, y'all? My name is Suave Player, and today is going to be a different video for what I did this week. I've been doing some Geometry Dash videos and so many. I've been uploading so many videos as well, like Rocket League, Resident Evil, and what's it called? Oh shoot, I forgot. Mario Kart 8. Yeah. And actually, I've been wanting to do this video for a little while, and talk about my kind of music this time, and today we're going to talk about the best to worst, my list of best to worst albums, EPs, or mixtapes of 2020. And I've been hearing a lot of music, and I'll be honest, there's been a lot of good music and a lot of bad music as well, and we're going to start off with the worst music. Just a little just a little thing or topic. And since I'm talking about the music, well, I could say that I'm talking about the artist as well sometimes, but not harshly. Well, sometimes harshly, but it's just that there has been so many artists that I've been like I've been like despising a lot, and their music as well. So it if that pisses you off, that's fine because it's my opinion and you guys have yours. But now that that's out of the way, let's get started. All right, I'm about to end your I'm about to end everybody's whole career. First off, we got Good Intentions. Nav. Yo, this album's garbage. This album is garbage. Um, the problem with Nav, as always, is that he literally uses a lot of auto tune, and his lyrics and his instrumentals are like the most boring thing in the whole wide world. And um and and I try to give Nav another chance of doing better, but here was this chance and he ruined it. And out of all the things he's released, the his first mixtape was the only good thing he's ever released. And I was like, God, bro. And when it comes to reckless, bad habits and good intentions, right here, um, and Brown Boy too. That's where, that's where he became worse and worse. In this album, it goes to a boring song to another boring ass song, and it never gets any better. Like for real. He just says the same garbage all over and over and over again, just like Playboy Cardi singing "At Meh" and just saying the same thing. And I was like, yo, we get it, depressed Siri. We got it. We got it in the first album, we got it in the second album, and now we got it in the third album, which is right now. And it's ridiculous how Nav has became worse. And each time he released an album, and his first mixtape is the better thing that he's ever released. Uh, and as you didn't notice, I'm a big EXO fan, and I've been a fan of The Weeknd for 5 years, since ever since he released Beauty Behind the Madness, and Starboy as well. And actually, when I heard Nav for the first time in his mixtape, I was like, "Yo, EXO till we OD, bish." And I was like, oh my goodness, Nav is fire. But then it comes to Reckless, it comes to Bad Habits, and Good Intentions, and his shit is garbage. So I'm pretty much done with this music. And Brown Boy 2, I stopped at track 7 in that album. And the original album, I stopped at track 8 because I just couldn't handle it because it was giving me a freaking headache. This album belongs in the dumpster. It's trash. If you guys don't like repetitive stuff or anything like that, please don't check out this album, because you'll get you'll you'll seriously get a headache from this. All right, let's go to the next album. The next album we're gonna talk about is Yo Hago Lo Que Me Da La Gana by Bad Bunny. This is another guy. This is another guy who is trash. Ever since he started doing music, I don't know how he got fans from doing his garbage ass music, but when he performed at the Super Bowl this year, he almost ruined the mood, just like J Balvin as well. I seriously, I heard this album and it's ass. Like seriously, not even a single one, not even a single song in this album is catchy or good. Like for real, like it's it's awful. It's awful. Uh, he literally uses a lot of autotune, just like Nav, and it pisses me off when a bad singer uses autotune to makes it sound try to make it sound better, but in reality, it sounds even worse. It's just my opinion. Bad Bunny is another bad artist these years. Not even, not. I've been hearing a lot of his music, and all of his music has been really ass. I'll say that. Ass cheeks. Oh my goodness. It's just Bad Bunny is one of those artists who literally needed to retire ever since he started doing music. And yeah, Yo Hago Lo Que Me Da La Gana is one of the worst albums of 2020. Just like Nav, with Good Intentions. Next up, we got Las Que No Iban a Salir by Bad Bunny. He released this EP a little while ago, and I was listening to it. And and shout outs to Jewel. Shout outs to my friend Juliet, and actually she's also like been hearing like the how the album is, and she didn't like it at all. She has good taste in music. I really like her. I really like her. She's a good friend as well. So yeah, back to the album. Um, this EP has been one of the terrible ones actually, and I'll say this: only two songs kind of got into me, with Yandel and Don Omar, and actually, and all his other songs were just pure garbage and repetitive, and and he still uses the garbage auto tune, like for real, like I said, he should have retired when he had the chance. And I just hate it. I just hate hearing his music. Personality is fine, but music ass. Ass hot cheeks, I'll tell you that. Um Next up, we got Colores by J Balvin. Now, we were talking about J Balvin and Bad Bunny, and actually, they released an album together yet last year, and that album was pure hot cheeks. And and it comes to these three albums of Bad Bunny and J Balvin, and nothing has changed. It never gets any better. Like, for real. Like, when those two performed in the Super Bowl, they almost ruined the mood for me. And actually, the only people who saved it were J Lo and Shakira, and and they did a and Shakira, J Lo, they did a lot better than those two garbage artists. Seriously, they have no talent. They're talentless, and their voices are terrible. And oh, what were they doing there? They didn't belong there. Why invite them to the Super Bowl? But it comes to Colores. I'll say he did a. I'll say J Balvin did a better job than Bad Bunny. And in Colores than Yo hago lo que me da la gana. And but the beats are just so repetitive, and the lyrics, they're okay, but pure garbage. I'll say that. I just I just hate this album, and I just don't want to listen to it ever again. These four that I just mentioned, I don't want to hear them at all. Then next up we got Changes by Justin Bieber. Now I'm about to go in on Justin Bieber. Now, ever since he released Purpose, I was like, "Hey, he's getting better. He's getting better." And because ever since the first four or three albums, I was like, "Oh my god, this is so annoying. This is the most annoying artist and music I've ever heard in my whole entire life." and and apparently, when he released Purpose, that's where I changed my opinion about him, and that's where he began to do good music. But now it comes to Changes. After a few years of coming back, this is the worst comeback that he's ever had. Justin Bieber literally had the worst comeback this year, and it's just a boring album, and it's just so boring that only four songs in there I liked, and I only I only have like I have like a playlist of what songs I liked in this album, and it's not Yummy. It's not Yummy, because Yummy is the most is the worst song in that album. It was, since I was hearing that album, it was a total hard pass to hear that bitch, and I just I just couldn't handle it. The only good songs in this one, in this album, were "Intentions," "Forever," featuring Post Malone and Clever, "Get Me," featuring Kalani, which I'm about to talk about her soon, and ETA with that guitar work. And those are the only songs I liked in that album. And the rest were boring as hell. And nothing changes after that. And it comes to a remix of Yummy, and I was like, yo, this is a hard pass. I'm not listening to that. So yeah, it's a boring album, and I'll never listen to it again. But except for those four songs. Next up, we got Party Mobile by Party Next Door. Now, this album was not worth the wait, because Party Next Door was a freaking god when I first listened to his first three albums. and and then it comes to the last album to this album, and it was not worth the wait. Um, I was waiting for more of his music, but it just results that it was really boring, and and so and it looked like he's not in the mood to do music either because um it looked like he was bored, and it sounded like he was bored, and the album became repetitive, and it was not worth the wait. I was like really hyped up for this album, but no, it just gave me a big disappointment, and just like oh my goodness, what is, oh yeah, the big day with Chance the Rapper, and I was like, oh god, what is this? What is this? Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's how I felt about this new this Party Mobile by Party Next Door album. It was not worth the wait. It was totally disappointing, and I just don't know what to expect for him. I'll give him one more chance to do a good music now. If he doesn't, I'm done with his music. All right, next up we got now that we got the worst albums out of the way, let's get to the okay, good, great, masterpiece, and amazing albums. First off, we got Manic by Halsey. Now, this album was okay. I'll say that. Halsey kind of changed her kind of her genre music, and it's not alternative anymore. And she really changed after her her breakup with G Easy. And the only the only thing I say, Halsey, I hope you do better. I hope that uh, the album that you will do next year or any other year, I hope it's fire because this one it was kind of disappointing for me, and I really, the only songs I enjoyed. I do not say that this album was bad, but it's not good or bad. It's pretty okay. I'll say that, but it was pretty. It was just repetitive. The only songs I enjoyed in here was Clementine, Graveyard, You Should Be Sad, Without Me, and Still Learning. And those are the only good songs I liked. And yeah, it was a pretty okay album. I'll say that. And I hope I hope Halsey does better because she did not let me down when she first released her first albums, and I really and I really enjoy her songs a lot. Was ever since she started. So yeah, I hope you do better, Halsey. Next up, we got Sugar by Megan Thee Stallion. Now, this EP was pretty good. I'll say that, and Megan Thee Stallion is one of the queen of rap, and she's much better than Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, and I think she's I think she's pretty. I'll say that. Mm. I but yeah, I love her. She's a good rapper. Her first song on this EP was kind of bland. I'll say that. The lyrics were really ridiculous, and then it comes to her other songs, which is pretty good actually, which is Captain Hook, Savage, Bitch, Pitch, yeah, um, and those are the best ones I've heard in that EP, and um, I really enjoy that EP, and I really hope that when Megan Thee Stallion does an album, it will be better than this EP, and I really I really did enjoy it, but not that much. I'll say that. But yeah. Next, we go to Rare by Selena Gomez. I haven't heard the new songs yet, but um, it was a pretty great album. It was pretty decent. I'll say that. Um, it's not that great. It's not that good, but it's decent. It's just that uh, it's not her best comeback to ever release music for her, and but her best song was rare. Her best songs were Rare and Lose You to Love Me. Now, Lose You to Love Me was about the breakup between her and Justin Bieber, and Justin Bieber, um, after a month, he's got a new girlfriend, Hailey Bieber. But yeah, it really hurt her, and I'm sorry about that, Selena. But it comes to the full album, and her album and her other songs were pretty okay. I'll say that. Not her best comeback, but it's a pretty good album. I'll say that. Next up, we got "How I'm Feeling Now" by Charlie XCX. I heard this album last night. It was pretty decent. Uh, she got she got that weird electronic pop danceable music, and it was pretty loud too because I had my headphones. And I was not on blast either, and it was pretty loud. I'll say that, and yeah, some of her songs were pretty good in that album, but it was pretty decent. It kind of felt a little weak, just like Rare, and not her best, but it was still pretty good. Yeah, just those two artists that I just mentioned should do a lot more better than these two albums. Next up, we got a Half Written Story by Haley Steinfeld. Now, I've been following Haley Steinfeld for a while since she started, and I saw her in the Charlie Puth concert as well. And since I was hearing her music, I was like, "Hey, I'm pretty hyped up for this EP," and yeah, it was pretty good. I'll say that. But I'll say it's not great. I'll say it's decent. Um, I really liked all the songs in that EP, and I never got bored of like hearing none of the songs. Um, it saddens me that pop music hasn't been getting like so many of the big hits. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I'm so glad that so many of my favorite artists are coming back and releasing good music this year. Next up, we got Black Atlas. We got Dream Awake by Black Atlas. Now, this album, I was since I was hearing like it was from that Black Atlas signed in XO. Yo, shout out XO. I was like, yo, I can bet this is gonna be good, and it is. It's pretty good. Um, Black Atlas did like a better job than Nav, bro. Um, he literally, I mean, his voice is pretty okay. I mean, his voice is not that good, and but the production on this album was unbelievable. The rhythm, the instrumentals were really good, and but his voice is the problem here. I'll say that it's a pretty decent album. I really wish um, I really wish that Black Atlas would will do a lot better since he signed in XO. He's done a lot better in here now, and I'm really proud of him. All right, next up we got "Treat Myself" by Megan Trainor. I just heard that her concert just postponed today, and I'm pretty saddened about that. And I've been following Megan Trainor ever since she started, and I was like, hey, I'm pretty excited for this album, and hey, this album slapped. This album freaking slapped. It's one of the best albums I've ever heard in my. It's one of the best pop albums I've ever heard this year, and I'm this is a good comeback for Megan Trainor. I'm really proud of her for keep going on her music. Her voice is just really good as well, and ever since I heard her in Marvin Gaye with Charlie Puth, I was like, oh my goodness, these two are really talented. I have so many songs on my playlist of 2020, and I literally enjoyed it, all the almost all the music I heard this year. But yeah, "Treat Myself" is one of the best pop albums I've ever heard in my life. Next up, we got "Chilambo" by Janae Aiko. Now, Janae Aiko is one of the most underrated R&B artists, just like Black Atlas, and but the problem with Black Atlas is his voice, but Janae Aiko is like one of the most underrated R&B artists out there. I really enjoyed this album by her. I since I was like thinking about hearing it ever since it released. Um, I was like, thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know. And but then a few months later, I listened to it, and it's freaking fire. I love. I'm starting to love R&B more than anything. Well, not more than anything. I'm starting to love R&B and hip hop a lot more than before. And yesterday I was hearing Stevie Wonder, a classic R&B artist, and oh my goodness. But here's the difference between uh, these new R&B artists and Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder was in like the 60s and the 70s, and Janae Aiko is one of the best R&B artists this year, and Chilambo proves that, and just the instrumentals, her voice is like one of the best things I've ever heard in my life. and and the songs with her and so many artists, were fire. I'll say that. It's this album is amazing. It's one of the best R&B albums of the year. Next up, we got the Saga of Wiz Khalifa by Wiz Khalifa. Now, I heard this album before, well, EP before, and I was like, hey, this is actually pretty good, and then I hear it again, and it's wow, it's pretty fire, and I'm so glad that Wiz Khalifa hasn't given up on doing music, because I really uh, I really was following him ever since he released "See You Again" with Charlie Puth, um, and when he released this song called "Remember Me" featuring The Weeknd, and I'm so glad to hear him again this year, and this album. and this EP is one of the best things I've ever heard in my life this year. So if you haven't checked it out, I recommend you to check it out. Next up, we got the Eternal Atake by Lil Uzi Vert. Now, Lil Uzi Vert just uh, happens to be in a lot of featurings. Like in the one with Good Intentions with Nav, and with Future, which I'm about to talk about later. Um, this album, it really convinced me that Lil Uzi Vert is like one of the best rappers out there, and the production on this album is clean. It's really clean, and I really loved every song that he released, except for the one with 21 Savage. Well, and I'm still trying to get used to that song. I'm just listening. I'm just listening it to a bunch of times to see if it can grow on me. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, this album is absolutely fire. I'm so glad that Lil Uzi um, released this album and came back better than ever. And he released a new song, which is a single, and it's called Sasuke. And I did not like that song because it sounded like Playboy Cardi's new baby voice, and it's like a version 2 of At May, and I did not like it. So yeah, but Eternal Take was one of the best albums this year. Next up, we got Slam and B by Chris Brown and Young Thug. Now, these two, I'm so glad they're back. Um, they released this album in Chris Brown's birthday, and this album slapped. It's like one of the best albums I've ever heard this year. It was fire. I'm so glad that these two are back. And Chris Brown only did 2 songs in this album. I wish he could have done more, but it was Young Thug's new album as well. Mm, sorry, I was just saying that. So yeah, this album was pretty good. I'll say that it's pretty fire. It's a lot of danceable rhythms. My goodness, it was just well done. It was just well done. How much time do I have left? This is I'm sorry if this is a long video. It's just my thoughts on every album it's just my thought on every album, EP, and mixtapes of this year. So I'm sorry if it takes too long for me to explain. But either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. Next up, we got Dark Lane demo tapes by Drake. Drake, I'm glad you're back, man. You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT of hip hop now. Um, so many people say that this new Drake isn't good as the. I know that some people don't like the new Drake as much as the old Drake, but the new Drake, he always does so many good songs. I'll say that. And I've been following this man ever since he released Hotline Bling or Just Hold On, I'm Coming Home. Yeah, that one. And I've been hearing a lot of his music, and I just heard this mixtape, and Tootsie Slide is pretty much one of my favorite songs that he's ever done. Um, it go right foot up, left foot slide, left foot up, right foot slide. Oh man, it's a fun song to listen to. And I he's done like a lot of featurings as well. Um, and this in this mixtape, He did one with Playboy Cardi, and you already know. You guys already know. I said it at the beginning. I don't like Playboy Cardi. Um, and or and Drake decided to put him there with his baby boys. Why, Drake? That was my question. That song could have been much better than without Playboy Cardi, because Playboy Cardi does the most trashiest verse in in that song. Um, I just wish he could have done it with another artist instead of Playboy Cardi. So yeah, but yeah, either way, this mixtape is like a really good one, and I'm glad that Drake is back. If Drake releases an album, I'm definitely going to listen to it. Next up, we got "Music to Be Murdered by Eminem. Sorry, I need to burp. And now this album was pretty. It was pretty good. I'll say that it's pretty much better than Revival. Revival was a pretty was a pretty bad album by him, and I was like, yo, they messed up a good legend, bro. And yeah, but then he made a comeback on with this album, and it's fire. It's fire. I'm glad that Eminem is back. He did a song about Venom, and it's pretty funny. But he also did a song of Godzilla featuring Juice World. Juice World killed it. He also did some songs with what's it called? What's his name? Ed Sheeran. Uh, so many artists, bro, and he actually killed it in this album, and I'm glad that Eminem is back, and he's one of the goats. He's one of the goats. I'll say that. Next up, we got Circles by Mac Miller. Oh god, it saddens me to hear his name because Mac Miller's gone. As a fan of him, I'm really sad that he's gone. And he used to be one of my favorite artists of hip hop in there, and just like Juice World, and I barely started hearing Juice World, but I've been following Mac Miller for a long time, and it it just saddens me to hear that he's gone. I miss him so much, and this is his last album. I can bet. Circles is pretty much a really good album. Um, I did not know that Mac Miller could sing that good as as Juice World. I mean, Juice World just released a new song called Righteous, and it was like hearing this album. It reminded me a lot of this album, and oh my god, I don't want to cry in front of you guys, but it's just my eyes are watering right now, and actually, Mac Miller used to be one of the legends, and I just can't believe he's gone. Uh, but yeah, Circles is one of the best albums this year. Um, it saddens me to hear that he's gone for real. Next up, we got High Off Life. Now, Future is back, baby. The bird call is back. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it when he does that every time. Oh my god. All right. So, ever since I heard Life is Good with Drake, I was like, I was like really hyped up to see what Drake and Future are going to do together, and I really want another collab between them, another collab album between them, and well, not between them, with them, and actually this is another one of the goats of hip hop, and Future. Um, he did an amazing job with this album. The production was really good. I've been following this man for ever since I heard "All I Know" and "6 Feet Under" by The Weeknd, and I think he's one of the goats. Um, and I think this is one of the albums, best albums of the year, and a Future is like literally um, doing this production a lot better than his last albums. Well, his production was literally good ever since he started. So why am I complaining about that? Future, a Future man, I'm glad you're back. You did an amazing job. Uh, Keep up the fire songs. He did not miss a single song in this album. It was too damn good. Next up, we got "It Was Good Until It Wasn't" by Kalani. Now, Kalani, I've been following Kalani for a little while, and ever since I heard tell me what you done for me," with Charlie Puth, I was like, hey, her voice is pretty good. I'll say that, and I've been hearing her other music as well, and they're pretty damn good. I'm starting to. She's one of the reasons why. She's one of the reasons why I'm starting to love R&B more than before, and Kalani never disappoints on her music. This is one of the best albums of the year. It's on my top five of the best albums of the year. And Kalani, I hope you do more more good music, because after this album, I think you're going to kill it more. Next up, we got "Future Nostalgia" by Dua Lipa. Now, Dua Lipa, I've been following her ever since she started in 2017. Um, I liked New Rules. I've liked Don't Start Now, Physical, um, and I've been listening. I've been listening to her all of her music, because she just started, and I mean, she doesn't have the best voice, but the production on her songs are pretty good. I'll say that, and it's pretty danceable. And it brings me. This album brings me back to this like 70s sound, or 80s sound, or 90s. I mean, so many nostalgic, so many nostalgic pop genres from those years. And actually, this album was pretty damn good. I'll say that. I just love this album. This album was pretty short. I'll say that, just as short as like the one by Charlie XCX, and I really wish those two could add more songs, because it's pretty short. But yeah, either way, it's a good album. Next up, we got "Calm" by 5 Seconds of Summer. Now, I've been following these boys ever since I went to their concert here in Albuquerque, and I've been wanting to, like, I've been wanting to hear their more of their music ever since I've been to that concert, and 5 Seconds of Summer are one of the most talented bands I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And this album proves me that they haven't missed one freaking bit. And I really enjoyed this album because they've done a great job on that concert. And Mike, it just brings me back those old days where I pretty much listened to like all of his hits as well. And I really want to see them again, because they're like one of the most talented bastards I've ever known. So yeah, Calm is one of the best albums they've ever done. It's on my top three. Yeah. My goodness, it's just so good. Boys, do not ever give up. Do not ever give up. Uh, to Red Desert to the End is like, it's like one of the best albums. Uh, mm, my number two best album of the year is After Hours by The Freaking Weekend. EXO till I overdose, baby. My goodness, I wish I had an EXO shirt for, right now. Um, but it's coming. It's coming. I also want a poster over here of EXO or any other of the Weekend's albums. So yeah, After Hours. I've really enjoyed this album. I've been listening to this album ever since it first came out a lot more. I've been listening to this album a lot, and more than anything that I've been listening and actually it's one of the best albums here in the United States, and Blinding Lights has streamed so many, and it's already to 900 million streams on Spotify, which is so crazy. And ever since I heard Heartless and Blinding Lights and After Hours, it's I knew this album would be one of the best albums of the year because I've been an EXO fan for 5 years ever since he released Beauty Behind the Madness, Starboy, and My Dear Melancholy, and this year I listened to his old stuff and it's so unbelievable. House of Balloons, Thursday, Echoes of Silence, and Kissland. The trilogy and Kissland are the most legendary albums I've ever heard in my life. I'm so glad that The Weeknd is back. EXO till I overdose. Uh, I've been I've been a diehard Weeknd fan for like a long time ago, and ever since, uh, and he don't miss. He don't miss. And I just like all of his songs. And After Hours proves me that he is still one of the best R&B artists or pop stars out there. And to Alone Again, to what's it called? Final Lullaby. It's so good. I'd say this is a 50 million times better than Starboy, and and but Trilogy and Kissland are still on the top one and two on my weekend ranking albums list. So yeah, um, After Hours is a masterpiece. Next up, top one of the best albums of the year. Hotspot by Pet Shop Boys. Now I'm glad. Look, I even have like I even have a book of them called. This was from a long time. Ever since I went to their concert on 2014 in Phoenix, and there's their signature. Look at that. That's Neil and Chris's signatures, and I also have like I also love the photographs on this book, and it just it just brings me back those memories that I was a little child, and listening to those guys. And I also have these VIP meet and greets, freaking things. Look, I met them. I freaking met them. These these guys are legends, and I've been following their music ever since my parents, as have been playing a lot of their music, a lot. And look, they even signed our VIP meet and greets. My goodness, it was one of the best things I've ever experienced in my life. I want to see I want to see Coldplay. I want to see Billie Eilish. I want to see so many people. I want to see The Weeknd as well, because those artists are literally the my inspiring my inspiring artists. And it comes to Hotspot, Pet Shop Boys are back. All the way to Willow the Wisp, to Wedding in Berlin. This album proves that Pet Shop Boys has not lost their touch of music, and I'm proud of them for them keeping for them to keep going with their music. This is their 14th album already, and their albums are just so freaking good. And ever since I was listening to Fundamental, to Yes, Elysium, um, Electric, Super, I and now it comes to Hotspot. It has been a journey for me, and I've been listening to their old albums as well. Actually, please, almost all of them, bro. I've been to three of their concerts. Three. I was in Denver. I was in Las Vegas, and I was in Phoenix. And these guys are also really talented. They're absolutely talented. These electronic pop gods are are always going to be my favorite artist of all time, or my favorite band of all time. And just like Coldplay, so many other bands. My goodness, Hotspot was literally one of the best. Is literally the best album in my opinion of 2020. Literally, no one can change my opinion. I love this album. Um, it's pretty inspiring, and I'm so glad these boys are back. And I just want to see them in the concert again. I want to see Coldplay. I want to see The Weeknd. I want to see Billie Eilish. I want to see 5 Seconds of Summer again. Bro, there's so many artists I want to see. So yeah, that's it for my best to worst album so far of 2020. I'm going. I'm just going to wait until Alec Benjamin, Joji, um, Lady Gaga, One Republic, and Alicia Keys releases their albums, because because those albums kind of release in like the end of the year. So I can wait, and and I'm just going to wait until Alec Benjamin's and Joji's album. So good music has come has come a lot in this year ever since quarantine. and I'm glad that so many of these artists have not lost their touch of music. By the way, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, and I'm sorry if this is too long for a video. I know there's going to be a lot of albums I heard I'm going to hear this year, and I really I just really love music. I'm a music nerd. If you didn't know that, I just love music. I love movies, and I also love video games. So yeah, don't judge me. Don't judge me. I love a lot of things. But yeah, shout out to my friend Jewel. She also she has been with me ever since ever since we've met. We've been best friends till we die. Ever since this quarantine started, and I've been having fun with her chatting on Snapchat. If you guys want to add my Snapchat or Instagram on more of my music reviews, let me know down in the comments and I'll give it to you. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. It's time for me to dip. Stay hot, guys, and I'll see y'all next time.